Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday, time 6 a.m. That music getting you up here this morning, get you going.
Did you win?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Not that I wouldn't, still be here.
Right. Yeah. We'll let you know who did.
But, wow, someone waking up a lot richer this morning.
Absolutely. Congratulations to them. Good morning to you. Let's get right to our top story. The coronavirus death toll surpassing the 400,000 mark this week. President Joe Biden is wasting no time dedicating his first full day in office to tackling the pandemic.
Yeah, he's expected to announce his official plan today for fighting the virus. And Deborah Alfarone is live in Washington with the details. Not wasting any time getting things done, Deborah.
Not at all, Eric and Stella, and he started yesterday, so he's just going. So the first thing we're going to hear about as part of this new national strategy is reopening schools. Of course, we've talked about the mask mandate. There's also on tap getting more vaccines to people and more testing. That is all just the beginning.
President Biden is scheduled to unveil a national COVID strategy today and sign 10 executive orders aimed directly at fighting the coronavirus. They'll be added to the mask mandate on federal property he set in motion right after his swearing in.
Mandating masks be worn, social distancing be kept on federal property, on interstate commerce, etc.
As part of the 10 executive orders on tap for today, those mask requirements will be extended to planes, trains, and other forms of public transportation. Other goals in the Biden plan include reopening most schools within the next 100 days, as well as taking a closer look at the health disparities in minority communities.
We're going to make sure we have some bedrock equity, equality as it relates to how we treat people and health care and other things.
Biden also plans to employ the use of stadiums and community centers in order to help hit his goal of 100 million vaccines in his first 100 days in office. Federal personnel will be deployed to help administer those shots.
This is not something that's going to be accomplished in the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's going to take most of the spring and summer.
Amazon, in a letter to the president, has joined a growing list of private companies offering to help with the effort. The tech giant wants to put its massive distribution network to work in getting the vaccine out as quickly and widely as possible.
And the death toll is climbing every day. At this rate, it's an estimate that 42 Americans died of COVID during just the 21-minute inaugural address that President Biden gave. This is a top priority for his administration. It is job number one. Eric and Stella.
Yeah, those are some staggering numbers.
That just puts it into perspective. Deborah, thank you. Another issue President Biden is addressing right away, immigration. He signed an order halting the construction of the border wall and also moved to preserve the DACA program for undocumented dreamers. The administration is also introducing a bill that provides a pathway to citizenship for millions of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. We're actually going to take a closer look at the president's plan for immigration. That's coming up later this hour. That's coming up at 6:30, so stay with us on that.
A San Diego County probation officer has died from complications related to COVID-19. The Probation Officers Association announced Officer Ralph Serrano died on Monday. He was an 18-year veteran of the department. His coworkers say he was kind-hearted, one of a kind. He was a great character who was caring towards youth in the community. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. County health officials are reporting 65 additional COVID-19 deaths, a new single-day high in our county. That brings the death toll here in San Diego County to 2,174. There were 1,720 new cases confirmed, about 9% of more than 18,000 tests. Of the more than 1,700 San Diegans hospitalized with the virus, 430 of them are in the intensive care unit. That is another record high. A total of only 39 staffed ICU beds are available throughout the county. And this just in, the number of Americans filing for unemployment has fallen. Last week, claims dropped to 900,000. The Labor Department says that 5.1 million Americans are continuing to receive state jobless benefits. That's down from 5.2 million in the previous week. That signals that fewer people who are out of work are finding jobs.
And today marks another major step in the coronavirus fight in the South Bay.
A vaccination superstation opens in Chula Vista. News 8's Chris Groh is live with that part of the story. Good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Eric and Stella. And look, if you're familiar with this area, you might recognize this as the Sears off of Broadway, and that is the former Sears building that they're going to be using that, and this parking lot, which is going to kind of be the trend here. We're seeing this across the nation, really. And as you just heard President Biden saying that he wants to use community centers, large sites as these kind of mass vaccination sites. Well, this is going to be one that the county set up here now, trying to get about 5,000 people per day. So this is how it's going to work. For those of you similar with the Petco Park super site location, going to be just like that. Again, when fully operational, they plan on vaccinating 5,000 people per day. They're going to be moving through Tier 1A, which is going to be healthcare workers, those in long-term healthcare facilities, assisted living facilities who work and staff that, and then as well as those who are 75 and older. Now, this will be appointment-based, and we do have a link up to how to make an appointment on our website, CBS8.com. Just go ahead and click that help button. But again, this is going to be a vaccine super site where we are going to see operation moving through here for 7 days a week, no breaks, just like that Petco super site location. We know that Sharp is going to be the ones that will be staffing and assisting the healthcare professionals here, making sure that everything is going well. And we do know that similar to that Petco Park location, they will be observing anybody for about 15 minutes after they get that vaccine to make sure that they are okay, that they don't have any reactions like we saw happen at the Petco Park location. So again, go to CBS8.com, click on our help button. That's how we will let you know where you can go to a link to get an appointment. Again, healthcare workers, those who staff and live in senior living facilities, as well as those 75 and older, all eligible to come here to get the vaccine. Eric and Stella.
Chris, thank you. Speaking of vaccine reactions, this morning, state health officials say vaccines in a batch of some 300,000 Moderna doses can be put back into circulation. This after the state temporarily paused those doses when a handful of allergic reactions were reported. The state's epidemiologist says the doses are safe and providers can start administering them right away. Teachers in the Alpine School District are now receiving the COVID vaccine. Although the county has not expanded vaccinations to educators, the state has taken action. Superintendent Dr. Newman says a local clinic contacted him last week after it fulfilled vaccinating healthcare workers and offered to vaccinate district staff.
Taking a look outside here on a Thursday, Netta. How's it looking? A little calmer out there. It looks nice behind you now.
I know. Doesn't it look so pretty? Yeah, we have pretty clear skies. A few areas where some lingering clouds are hanging, but not over Mission Bay. Off in the distance, there's kind of that sliver. So parts of the South Bay, you may be getting some cloud coverage, but it's going to be fairly clear. Here's a look at the rest of that storm, the one that brought us that rain. Not so much for our coast or inland areas, but the mountains and deserts. You certainly felt the impact. Well, it is gone now. It's moving out over Arizona, Phoenix, Yuma, places like that. They'll still see some activity from it. What we're going to see is pretty mild weather today and tomorrow. 51 in Poway, 53 in El Cajon right now, 51 in Jamul. Chula Vista, you're at 55 degrees, 57 for downtown. So a lot of 50s right now. It is cooler than this time yesterday morning, but yesterday morning was kind of exceptionally warm because we had that cloud coverage from the storm. So overall, we're going to see today's afternoon highs a little bit cooler than yesterday afternoon, if that makes sense. So we'll basically be in the mid to upper 60s for today. Winds will be a lot calmer. We do have a bit of that offshore flow still as the storm moves further east, though. This will all weaken even more. So 17 mile per hour winds in Alpine, Sill Hill 11, 16 in Laguna. I do got to say that we do have a lot more moisture in the air. Our humidity levels are pretty high in the 80s and 90s, which typically when we get dry offshore winds, they go way down into the teens. That does not happen. Here's a look at our cloud coverage, though. For today, you'll see mostly sunny skies. Tonight, clouds will roll in. This is your day for Friday into Friday night. That's when our next round of rain will come. So we'll get more into those details in just a little bit. Jenny.